I had to make a video about this because it's absolutely ridiculous. I'll try to make it quick. I'll try to do the shit off the top of my head. But, alright, I hear this a lot from, like, younger kids, especially women. They're like, oh, there's no point in having a baby. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, there's so much. Oh, this world's so terrible. It's so terrible, but you choose to continue living in it. You don't see. I mean, it's not like they're killing themselves or whatever. They still hang out here. They still do stuff. You know, they still fuck people and do drugs and hang out, and they want to tell us it's all, oh, it's the worst thing ever. And I just completely disagree with it. From my personal standpoint, first of all, in nature, every little thing, every little squirrel and bug and everything else trying to do and run around, the one thing that it strives to do that's not survival based is reproduce. That doesn't make you survive longer. In a lot of species, it makes you die sooner. And it's the point of what they live for. It's the one thing that they do that's not getting more food to continue to live or whatever. I personally believe that almost everything that people tell us is utter garbage. Talking about pollution. Oh, we can't bring more people to this planet. There's already too many people here. First of all, first of all, pollution. I don't believe that bullshit. You throw a fucking Snickers wrapper on the ground or whatever, what's gonna happen to it? It's gonna break down. Over time, it's gonna break down. Or some bird's gonna swoop it up and fucking stick it in its nest. What do you think you do with your trash anyway? You put it in the recycling bin, you put it in the garbage bin. What do you think happens to it then? It goes to some plant. Do they filter through it? Yeah, but not to save the environment. They do it to save money. They want those resources so they don't have to pay for them. So when you recycle, you're just fucking helping somebody else. You're helping somebody else make more money, and you are burning calories to sort their garbage for them, and they're just gonna use it to sell back to you. It's fucking pointless. So I always look terrible in the morning because I always do these videos in the morning for some reason. So recycling, and we covered that one. It's gonna go into some landfill somewhere. It's gonna be outside. It's gonna do the same fucking thing as if you would have just buried it under a rock. I mean, it'd probably be better if you buried your trash under a rock or fucking burned it than having it go to some landfill. It would do the same thing. It would be more spread out. It wouldn't be in one solid location, and it would be a feeding ground for bacteria and stuff. Just clinging to the plastic is very porous. If it's metal, it'll rust and fall apart. Styrofoam, that falls apart too. Eventually, it does. It's oil-based, which comes from the earth. The only way that you could literally be littering is if you had something that didn't come from here. It was made, and it has nothing to do with this place. And even then, it would just be like some material that was inobtainable to the environment. They wouldn't be able to fuck with it. It would just stand there. It would just be there. It would be like a monolith. It wouldn't do anything. So, I mean, unless it was secreting some sort of terrible material that was unheard of in the environment, it wouldn't be littering. And I get the aspect of the trash like being an obstacle for life forms, and they grow around it, or they get stuck inside of it like turtles and stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of trash in the ocean. But the thing you have to think about is if people just disappeared tomorrow, all of us, like some sort of zombie apocalypse who just died, the earth would bounce back in like 5 years, 10 years. It'd be like you never even knew we were here. This shit would just pile up, it would degrade somewhere, get stuck under something, the sand would blow over it, all kinds of stuff. We wouldn't even notice it. The fact that humans think that they can make an impact on this place is egotistical as hell. All right, I was going to go to the next transition from that. Okay, population. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that there's 7 billion people living with us. I've traveled all over the United States, just the United States, and I don't think that the populations are as high as they say it is. I don't think the maps are as far as they say they are. I've walked from one city to another. It took me hours and hours and hours and sometimes days, but it didn't look like that. I was like, oh, well, shit. Yeah, it's a lot closer than I thought it was. It made America feel really, really small. And I don't believe that there's as many people as they say there are. Why would they lie about that? Well, why wouldn't they lie about that? I mean, they get you to do shit because you think there's so many people in here. You think you don't want to have babies, like this video. That's stupid. I mean, what do you think happens to all your resources? What happens to all your money? What happens to everything you worked for? What happens to your life? It becomes meaningless, pointless. You did everything for somebody else who's got kids, who's going to give them all their shit. And they're like, hey, oh yeah, one less person in the gene pool. So I don't think there's as many people as they say there are. There you got census and stuff. You think somebody's going to go around and knocking on every door in India or China or whatever? Maybe China's got their numbers laid out because they're communist as shit. But I really, Africa, you really think they know how many people are there? And how long is their life expectancy anyway? Maybe they pop out like 5 babies, what 2, 3 of them die, and then the rest are living in huts. Like, you really think that they know how many people there are? No, they fucking don't. But it's beneficial to lie to you. If they say, oh, there's 3 million people in your city. Oh, but the vote swung this way because a large section of people, they voted like this. Well, if they had every single real person, I mean, we've all seen the polls where like they've got people that are dead, people that are fake, people that never existed, they're voting. What better way to swing the vote? Oh, there's a whole million people you don't know about, and they're all over spread. They live in the suburbs and shit. I mean, that's genius. You just convince people that there's more people where they're at, and you got like, you know, this many people. Oh, we can't get things to be our way. We keep voting, and we want to make things like this. We just can't. And you got some oligarchy hanging over them, just like, oh yeah, there's a million people. They wanted this idea from us. What can we say? We run the censuses. We count all your people. It's fucking bullshit. It's just like, when I went to the casino, I used to do really well, and then they switched over to the electronic gambling in my state, Minnesota, anyway, like craps and stuff like that. It had to be electronic. And I was like, do you think for one fucking second that the guy who comes to check on these machines doesn't take a bribe, like $1 million bribe, to fucking set them up just a little bit, percentage-wise, to be in their favor? I mean, if me and my buddy try to go 2 over 3, you know, 2 for 3. It's got 3 places you can bet on, and we're like, okay, I'll vote for 1, you vote for 2. You know what I'm saying? And we should win 2/3 of the time. Fuck, we'll make all our money in one night. Nope, it just lands on 3 every time. You switch, it'll land on the other one. It's rigged. It's rigged. I all I did was fucking lose at craps once it turned electronic. I didn't make as much money. I didn't make anything. I lost shit. And then lastly, I think that there's a conspiracy to lower Western birth rates. They don't want us around. They want to kill us off. I mean, what better way to rule than have an ignorant mass that just believes everything you say, does whatever you say? And you think that the people who have all the money, who run corporations and stuff, you think they want a revolutionary spirit in their people? You think they want people that are smart, intelligent, that are making their own shit? This rednecks in their backyard making like hydrogen engines and stuff? They don't fucking want that. That's the opposite of what they want. They want you to be government dependent. They want you collecting food stamps and being afraid of shit and fucking, oh, the police, like it's some fucking military that's just lording over you. It's supposed to be working for you. Actually, I think in my state to protect and serve, I think they changed that on the police cars. You gotta look for those subtle little changes. I don't think it says to protect and serve anymore, because I think they changed serve to something else. Anyway, it's just funny because it's supposed to be the people. We're supposed to be voting. And America is the best country that we have, right? Out of everywhere else. And it's still a bunch of lies and garbage and deceit. I can't imagine what the fuck it's like anywhere else. All the Brits and Aussies and everything, they're like, don't give up your gun. South Africa's like, fuck, it was the worst thing we ever did. And there are people in America, oh yeah, there's so many shootings, there's so many people, oh god, and they're dying. Like, well, if you believe there's way too many people, then why do you have a problem with them dying? It's all contradicts itself. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I don't think that people should live like that. In my personal opinion, I had a kid, and me and the girl, we wanted a kid. We wanted one. Everyone said, oh, it's going to be the hardest thing. Oh, it's going to be so hard for you. It's going to be so tough. It's the worst thing that ever happened to you. Oh, you guys are pregnant. Oh, congratulations. But, oh, it's going to be so hard. Like, and it wasn't. It fucking wasn't. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of lies. I hated kids. I absolutely hated children. I didn't like them. I didn't like how sticky they were and how messy they were, and they just didn't seem to understand anything. But if my son doesn't understand something, it doesn't annoy me. It doesn't bother me. Like it's my son. When he was little and he used to cry, it didn't bother me either. It was just like an alarm clock. It just got me to do what I needed to do. It didn't bother me. The way it does when there's a baby in the theater or a baby in the mall or something, or a baby in line, then it bothers you because it's not your fucking kid. Okay? Maybe some people have more compassion about it, but in the wild, you like run around the forest, you hear some kid crying, yeah, it might annoy the fucking shit out of you. Oh, just because you're gonna get our tribe caught, you know? They're hunting us, or we're being hunted. Oh. So, having a kid for me was the best thing that ever fucking happened to me. It changed everything about me, my whole life. It changed hers too. Before she was different, and then now she's better. She has purpose and meaning, and so do I. I can't just like get down in the dumps. I can't ever be like, oh, I want to kill myself, like, because I have more to live for. I can't just leave him hanging like that. Some bullshit. I would never think about doing it. And it happened. It's like a weird polar scale. Like, I'm not afraid to die because I have a son, because I know I have something I can leave behind. My forefathers, right? My line of my people going back, what did they do? They survived and fought and died so I could be here. And for me not to have kids is like a spit in their face. All of them. When you get to heaven or whatever, Valhalla, you go there and you see the line of your people and they're like, so it ended with you. Yeah, you know, you didn't have no kids. You didn't help them at all. You know, okay, shit, I guess we're done. We'll just hang out here and drink beer. No. So, as much as I'm not afraid to die, I also want to live more. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I'll get into a fight and think nothing of it, but I also am a lot smarter about how I handle aggressive situations. I think about it beforehand, you know, because I'm a little bit more cautious. I don't know what other fathers have to say about that, but you become more protective, but also less likely to do anything at the same time. I don't know. I can't really go into it. I'm not thinking that deep about it. I'm just ranting here. And I just think this whole Western idea of like not having kids is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else. Everybody else is having like 8 fucking kids, right? You got immigrants coming here en masse, just shitting on everybody, raping the shit out of your fucking women, and having kids left and right. Sending their kids over here. Oh, fuck it. Send them over there. Send them. We don't need them. Like, what if we did that? What if we had like 1 billion fucking kids and then just sent them wherever send them to Europe. Fuck them. Like, we can't handle them. It seems like white people are the only ones that are doing that. They're the only ones who are like, "Whoa, we shouldn't have kids. Oh God, it would just be so. We can't do that to the world. We can't." But your kids are the ones that are going to be fucking building everything, holding the infrastructure together, and changing everything. What you think you shouldn't have any more? Who's going to take care of you when you get fucking old? All these SJWs and crazy feminists and stuff. Like, what's going to happen to you? What's going to happen to you when you're laying on your deathbed and all you did was worry about your goddamn career? That promotion, that was so worth it. And that blowjob I gave my boss, that was just the peak of my fucking life. Like, what are they thinking? What are they doing? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to be alone somewhere with nobody who gives a shit about you. With elderlies, people that got nurses like stealing from them and abusing the shit out of them. It's fucking insane. Wouldn't you rather have like a kid that just, maybe a couple kids and the grandkids come check on you every once in a while and they play cribbage with your ass? Like, wouldn't you rather have that instead of just being somewhere alive and dead at the same time in some sort of living grave? Like, that's like prison. You don't want that. Nobody fucking wants that. It's stupid. The whole idea is stupid. And every girl that I ever dated or ever fucked, and they were like, oh, I'm so glad we didn't have a kid, or, oh, I got pregnant and I had to abort it, or, oh, I had to take that morning after pill because God forbid we have a fucking child, right? Think about them. Where are they right now? What are they doing? I know that most of the girls that I know that I dated, that if I check on them, man, they got like fucking married. Like 2 weeks after they broke up with me, they got married and knocked up or some shit, or who knows. But a lot of them, they did end up settling down. That whole, oh, I want to wait till I'm married, or oh, I don't want to have kids. It's all fucking bullshit. They get into a situation where they got a man giving them enough money or whatever, they'll have a kid. They fucking will. It's what they want to do. But God forbid, women, they want to hold out to the very end. And by the time they actually want to have kids, especially with feminism stuff, you see a lot of videos like feminism ruined my life and stuff like that. They hold out way too long. I had my kid young. She's 20, 21. I was 22, 23. And it's the best fucking thing ever. He's like this high on me, 7 years old, big as hell. And when I'm older, you know, when I'm older than I am now, I'm still going to be young. We're still going to be hanging out. I'll still be able to take him to do stuff. And my buddy, his parents were old as shit. He was a teenager. His parents were like 60 fucking something. They didn't want to hang out with him or whatever. They were stuck in their ways, just reading their goddamn newspaper and drinking their coffee. And it's just not the life to live. And women out there are all fooling themselves. You got these scientists and people fucking lying their asses off to you. Your perk, I mean, you're like the top years you can make babies is from when the egg drops to like 25, 30. 30 is fucking pushing it for me. If I got with a girl and we got like married or some shit and she was like, oh, I want to wait till I'm 30 or whatever. Like, so you want to increase the chances that we have some Down syndrome baby or whatever. Some kid that's going to be fucked up. That's going to be a huge internal struggle for us to deal with. Not just like, oh, because it's hard to deal with people like that. No. You're going to love that child and they're going to be inept, enabled, and fucked up a little bit. And that's going to cut your heart in half. You'd rather have them young, see them strong, see them bigger, see them getting by in the world and pushing the other little kids out of their fucking way, you know? That might be a little too cynical, but you get what I'm saying. You want your child to be better than you. And there's people out there that live this life and they think, oh, I don't even want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. Oh, if I had a kid, I would abort it. Oh, if you stick a baby inside me, I'll fucking kill it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You must hate yourself if you don't even want to make progeny that would be better than you. I hope my son is a million times better than me in every fucking department. He's going to be taller, stronger, smarter. He's going to make better decisions because I'm going to make sure he doesn't make those bad decisions. And there's a lot of, especially young men in America these days, and nobody's fucking looking out for him. Nobody's hey, don't do that. Better watch yourself, boy. Don't do that. No one fucking says that. And they should. I mean, I remember getting in trouble when I was like 18. I was fucking 18. Judge was like, fuck you. You know? And I was like, oh, why didn't anybody tell me this shit? I mean, especially the indoctrination systems of schools are just terrible. There should be like a class, especially America has more laws and rules and regulations than any other country on the planet. There should be a whole class in school like, this is everything that's illegal. Don't do it. Because when you're that young, you don't really think about it. You just fucking do shit. Anyway, what I'm saying is, all those girls that I dated that didn't want to have kids and they decided, oh, it's not time for me to settle down. Well, it's their fucking loss. Because they had these peak years, right? And let's say I met the girl, let's say I met her when she's like 20. What is that? At most, at tops, that's 10 fucking years that I really like her. That she's super attractive to me. That I want to be with her all the time. If she's 25, maybe 3 to 5 years that I'll be feeling that way. If I marry her, the majority of the time, like 90% of the time, I'm not going to fucking like her. I'm not going to be physically attracted to her. I might appreciate her. I might like her personality and that kind of stuff. But in terms of like, oh shit, like she lights me up. I want to fuck the shit out of her. That kind of like, that kind of love, that kind of appreciation. That you want to do things for her, like in the way that, you know, a man will be triggered by an attractive woman or a woman crying or something like that. You know, internal instinctual triggers. They're not going to have that from you. And so they go live their lives. But imagine how much happy there'd be imagine how many people we wouldn't have dated, how many situations we wouldn't have gotten brokenhearted. And if we would have just had fucking kids, been like a normal, well, traditional now. It's not normal anymore. For Americans to just get married, have a bunch of kids, and live somewhere in a piece of land. I mean, doesn't that sound great? No. They want to run around and be on social media, go to the clubs, get the shit fucked out of them, and then they wake up one day and they're like, oh, fuck, I'm alone. So, I mean, if you, I shouldn't be saying this, but especially for women, you really want to lock a guy down, you better have some fucking kids. This whole, oh, I don't want to have kids. Like, it's, yeah, I'm sure you don't until you need me to take care of you, and then you want to have fucking kids, right? It's just ridiculous. The whole left, everything they say contradicts itself. Every viewpoint they have contradicts some other viewpoint. It's ridiculous. And if you really want me to bring it, I was thinking about doing it, but God said, procreate. Go and be fruitful. But we don't. We don't. I don't know why we don't. I think it's a conspiracy. I think people want us dead. I think it's easier to rule over a bunch of drooling idiot zombies. And if you look at the original zombie movies, that's what they were. They could talk. They could do stuff with their hands. They can move around. They used to talk to the guy, Greg, come out. The original, I don't remember what it's called, Night of the Living Dead or something. The very, very, very first one. It's in black and white. It's old as hell. The zombies were just stupid people. They were just idiots. And that's what they were afraid of back then. Some massive stupid people. I personally think it'd be better if everybody was smart. Like, you got all these people that care, Americans, they care about their grass so much. What does grass do for you? It doesn't do anything. I don't even think it looks that nice. It's impossible to maintain. It releases carbon monoxide all over the fucking place. Or is it dioxide? I don't remember. But why not just have a garden in your whole yard? The whole yard. Why doesn't it all be food to feed you? That's how much are you gonna save from going to the grocery store? If every square foot of your lawn is covered in garden, or fences with chickens inside of it and stuff. How much money are you gonna save? Instead, you spend money on gasoline and lawnmowers. I'm like staring at a yard right now. I'm talking about this. Like, it's just stupid. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's like masturbatory. I don't understand why people live their life like that. Your whole yard